Hey, what's up, guys? Well, it's been a little while since I've been on here, but I have a very good excuse why. Because I moved into a new house, and this is the new setup. And you're going to be like, well, it looks exactly like the old setup. Yep, it does. So today I want to show off a new pistol that I had gotten. And by the way, you're only seeing Ripley right now because, unfortunately, Coco died. So now it's only down to my clouded leopard, Ripley.
It's my time now.
Okay, well, on a more happy note, the pistol that I picked up was the SIG P365 Macro. So let's go ahead and do an unboxing and show you what she looks like. There it is, right there. So this is the P365 Macro non-comp version, meaning it does not have the compensator on the end of it. And this is also not the TAC Ops version. The TAC Ops comes with the same barrel and slide, but it comes with 4 17-round magazines. This one came with 2 17-round magazines. And I'll tell you why I opted for this one in just a moment.
Is it because you're cheap?
So we get 2 extra back straps with the pistol. It comes with a small, medium, and large. The medium was on the pistol right when I got it, and the medium felt pretty good. I was like, yeah, this feels good. But I gotta be thorough when I do these things. So I was like, let me just try the other back straps on. And lo and behold, what I found out is the large back strap feels the best. And I got some goon tape wrapped around here. I'll tell you why in just a minute, but let's go through the rest of the box. Take this out. By the way, this is the mag loader that we will never ever use in our lives. Comes with 2 back straps, like I said, 2 17-round magazines. I got this one loaded up right now. Just gonna set it to the side. Inside the box, we got, this was a little chamber stopper. SIG Sauer stickers. We get the stickers. We love our stickers, don't we? Congratulations on your purchase. Now that you own the most elite name in firearms, optimize your firearms performance with SIG Sauer ammunition. I have never bought SIG ammunition before. Now, if they wanted to support the channel, that's a whole different matter. I would definitely send me all the ammo, please. All right, we got some accessories right here for the 365. That's the XL right there. That's not the macro. And that's the standard 365 right there. No macro, whatever. So we got the pamphlet, all the safety instructions, blah, blah, blah. Your little notice from the ATF that we love to look at. Nope. I don't know what the hell that is. Close that. On the other side, we got the most useless object in the thing, a lock. Okay, the P365 Macro. Here she is and what it looks like. Now, of course, as you notice, this is the safety model. I wouldn't dare get this pistol without having a safety on it. I'm a fan of the safeties. I know a lot of you are not, but I want a safety on my carry gun. And here we go, YouTube. All safe. This is the non-comp version and came with 2 magazines. Now, the reason I didn't get the TAC Ops because there's a little bit of a price difference between this one and the TAC Ops.
So it is because you're cheap. I knew it.
That comes with 4 magazines. I'll flash on the screen real quickly how many beans this one was. So I opted for the non-comped version. I want that extra barrel length on the end. And I want that extra sight radius that you see right there. See, on the comp version, the sight sits back here, so you're losing a lot of the sight radius. It's basically the same as the standard 365. But, you know, if I could get that extra, if I'm already going to be carrying a longer slide like this one is, this one in the XL model had the same length slides. If I'm going to be carrying a longer slide, then I want all the benefits of that extra slide, as in the sight radius and the extra velocity that you'll get when you have it. Now, real quickly, I'm going to go through the stats of the gun. We got an overall length of 6.6 inches. And then we have an overall width right here to here of 1.1 inches. This gun is thin. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment. So 1.1 inches width-wise. And then our height from here to here is going to be 5.2 inches, about 132 millimeters. And really, the most important one to me is the weight. And the weight of this one is 21.5 ounces or 610 grams. That is important. Carry gun has to be light. It just goes without saying. I can get away with carrying some bigger guns sometimes, but if I really have my preference, I want the gun to be lighter. And just like the XL model, this one has the flat trigger in it. And we'll talk about the trigger in just a moment. As you can see, I've wrapped some goon tape around the grip. Now, I was not a fan of the goon tape when I first got it because the goon tape actually takes away texture from the gun. The macro grip is different from the XL and the standard 365 as far as texture goes. Well, it's different all the way around. This one's just bigger and it fills up your hand just a little bit more. But the more important thing is that the texture on this pistol is actually really good. You put this pistol in your hand and it's not going nowhere. The problem is when you carry the gun. When you carry the gun, that awesome texture starts rubbing against your awesome, not so rough skin on your stomach or your side or something like that. So it kind of hurts you in the end. So I wrapped that goon tape around. I promise you, I never believed I would use the goon tape on anything, but I did today and it works pretty good. The magazines are really nice. I love it when all the numbers are displayed just like that. You know, they got some of them where all the numbers are just kind of displayed on one side, or you got other ones that just skip it like 5, 10, 15. Those are my least favorite. These are my favorite, the ones that go all the way 1 through 17. Actually, if you look closely, it starts at 3. So we don't even see that first 1 and 2 rounds. It just starts at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and goes on. Now, just like almost all the SIG 365 magazines, loading that last round is kind of tough. So what I end up doing is I load 1 less or 2 less than the last round. I shoot it a few times. I kind of start breaking in the magazine with that amount of rounds. And then later on, I find that you can put in the full capacity 17 without too much of an issue. You just need to give that spring a little bit of break-in period. My last carry gun was the 365 XL, and it was great. It felt good. Everything was good about it. But I love FDE, but I don't want FDE brown in my carry gun. It's not as covert as I like. So I got rid of the FDE model and decided to go with another XL model. But I started looking at the macros, and XLs will hold 12 in the magazine. This will hold 17. And if you really hate this grip, you can change it out with the XL grip if you want. Now you might have to do a little conversion on your magazines to make them fit, but changing the grip back to an XL to me is a little bit simpler and cheaper than going from the opposite way around, as in trying to buy the macro frame. So I just went ahead and got the macro to begin with. But there's no need to change the grip up because the grip feels great. I mean, this sucker, look at this. Look, you see these leather gloves locking into the sucker? This thing is going nowhere. You're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. All right. Only y'all real kings will understand that quote. It comes with my favorite type of sights, which are these X-ray night sights. You got a blacked out rear, but it still glows in the dark if it's nighttime. And then you got this big bright green front post. And that sucker stands out really nicely. Out of all the colors, green is my favorite. So I love the sights on this thing. Now, as far as size goes, this gun is bigger than your XL and definitely bigger than your 365 model. Now, I don't have on hand the other 365s to compare it to, but what I will compare it to is the ones that I do have, which are the Beretta Compact 92. Now, as you can see, this is a full metal gun right here, kind of a different beast altogether, but it's also got 15 in the magazines. Now, they come standard with 13s, but later on they made 15 rounds for these compact Berettas. Oh boy, is that slide smooth. I just love the way these guns feel right here. Okay, so let's just put them side by side and show off what the Beretta looks like compared to the 365. Now, there's not a whole lot of difference, okay? But you can definitely tell the Beretta barrel does stick out a lot further. But just like most pistols, you find out when you're carrying a pistol, it's that the barrel length doesn't really matter so much. What matters more is the grip length. The grip length is what ends up printing. So let's line these two up in the back, and I'll be dog, the Beretta is actually shorter, only because the slanted magazine at the bottom slants downwards, does it kind of make it the same size. But as you can see, the macro has got a beat in the grip length territory. Okay, so one other pistol we can do, more of y'all might have one, is the CZ P07. Okay, so this one stays, this is my truck gun, stays in my truck all the time, so I do keep it loaded. But we're clear, and let's just give you a little comparison on the table of them two. Well, let me put this magazine back in. We'll be careful. That's what you got with them two. All right, if we put them on top of each other, again, as far as barrel length goes, the P07 is just a tad bit longer. And then for grips, look at that. The macro is still longer in the grip than the P07 is, to my eyes at least. Weight-wise, well, really, there's take the bullets out. There's not a whole lot of difference going on here. Not enough to notice, you know. Like if there's like 5 or more ounces between them, then you kind of start to notice. But 1 to 4, you don't really notice too much of a difference. I don't, at least. Okay, so that's the size difference between the P07. Now, what really draws me to this macro is just how thin the profile is. This is a thin gun, okay? And when I bought my CZ75 a while back, I know I haven't featured it yet on the channel, but I will. I promise you, I'm just getting all set up. This is the stainless, full-size CZ75. And this gun's awesome. This gun feels good. But the first thing I noticed with this gun is just how thin the frame and overall body is. And if we compare it to the macro, they're very similar. The only reason the CZ I think is a little bit wider is because of our safety and our slide release right here. It sticks out a little bit more. Very similar in the width category, these two guns. And then we'll go ahead and give you a comparison of the grip right here. Now with the CZ75 and the macro, you can see the grips are almost the same. They're pretty close to me. But CZ being a full metal gun, you definitely feel the weight of this one. This gun feels good. Okay, as far as holsters go, I don't have a holster for it yet. I have one in my mind that I'm going to get. The thing with holsters that I have come to the conclusion of is that I don't like inside the waistband anymore. I started out trying to do that, but I like my pants to fit me. And with no gun on them, when they don't fit well, I don't want to have to put on a belt and go through 6 loops or 6 holes to find the right tightness to wear the pants. So I have ditched wearing inside the waistband holsters. The holster that I'm going with, or I want to go with, is this one right here. This is the holster that Craft Holsters sent me. I requested this one for my full-size Beretta. It's got the thumb release right here. So all you do is here and then draw, okay? And this is the Wilson Combat full-size 92FS right here. Baby looks sweet. Look at that. You see what I did right here? The Wilson Combat grips are nice, but I didn't like how flat this side was. So what I did was I put on the original grips on this side, and then I got the Wilson Combat on this side. So for some reason now, this side fills out my palm a lot better, and this baby feels juicy. Feels juicy in my hand. Feels real good. I like it right here. Anyways, so this is the holster that I want. I'm still testing this holster out and doing some tests on it, but that sucker fits in there really nice, and I like it the way it snaps in just like that. You see how easy it slips in there? That's what I wanted right there. A lot of their other holsters kind of requires a little bit of a break-in period and stuff like that, but this one does not. It feels good right off the bat. As far as features go, we have a flat face trigger just like the XL model, and as you can see, this one's optics cut. I have no plan to get an optic on here, but I feel like we're preparing ourselves for the inevitability when we get an optics cut. You know, we may end up doing it later on or may not, but just like the concept of a condom, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's my feeling on the optics right there. Real positive safety. Hear that? That's nice. Now let's look at this trigger. Let's see where it breaks. Got a little take up. So as you can tell, there's not really a defined wall. What happens is you get to here and then it starts getting, it's like a smush, a mush, okay? So I'm there at the wall. Okay, that's the presumed wall, but then we creep back a little bit further and then it breaks. I don't mind that. Some people like just a defined wall and then it breaks, but the smush is like a squeeze. You're having to squeeze your trigger just a little bit more to get it to go back, you know what I mean? So I don't mind it. I think it's nice to me. Now, let's look at the reset. Right there. Now, I've never had an issue with the resets. I've always thought the resets were definitely short enough for me. And there's the break again. So as far as the trigger goes, I'm fine with this trigger. And we can also see that on this macro model and frame, we get the standard 1913 Picatinny rail. So you can mount your flashlights or lasers or bayonets or whatever you want to mount on there. You can do it now. Well, that just about sums up my unboxing of the beautiful SIG P365 macro non-comped version. Now, if you like this channel, you like what I do, please make your way over to my Patreon page and donate $1 or $2. It will help the channel out tremendously. And also, as you have noticed, I'm wearing the sexy leather gloves. If you want these gloves, which are indeed real leather, this is real leather. I don't know if people tell me it's fake pleather. I don't buy that shit. Go down in the description below right there, and I'll have some links for the gloves as well. I'm also putting links to my camera equipment, my microphones. All these questions I get asked all the time is like, oh, you got some beautiful footage. What kind of camera are you using? Well, I'll tell you everything now in the description below. I have links for all of it. Please use my links. Help a brother out. Click on the link. Buy my stuff. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little unboxing. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Boom!